Like the city scout, right? With you got other team so would be like
All right, let's get started here. I guess we're dateless today. Roll call, I did that. So we have one student organization proposal today. We have reports, open floor, committee meetings, and then adjournment. So that's not on there. But we'll get started right away with our student org proposal. So if you guys want to come on up, the European international students. Oh. All right. There you go.
No, it's okay.
It's fine.
We will go. Yeah.
We'll pass around.
I don't know what it was.
Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon. Well, we are Angel Morenilla, Gonzalo Calvo, and me, and our team. And we came here to show you our organization that we want to create here at IIT, that is called European International Illinois State Students Organization. Well, what's EIITS? Well, it's an IIT European Partnership University Students Organization where the students we came from Europe, we want to join and network and do our arrival to IIT the most softest and easiest as possible.
So, okay, so what are our purpose and the goals of this organization? So the first one is to create a network between all the European students that are at IIT. The second one is to support future European students that are next year coming to, or other years coming to the IIT, and provide them information that could be helpful. The third one is promote and encourage European culture and sports, and because we believe it makes things better and makes good get together. And we also with this organization we wanna meet people from international people from different disciplines and get together with American culture and other cultures too. Then we want to also organize career fairs, and we want to bring other European students that are already working in the US to tell us about their experience here. And then we want to increase the awareness of IIT in Europe. As we know, there are different organizations that are already at IIT, but there's no an organization that represents Europe. So how the organization will benefit IIT? So the first thing is that we believe it's a good choice for integration for students that are coming, because it's from my experience, I can say it's everything pretty new, and we would like to have someone on campus to show us different life things that we can do each day. The second one is the community. We want to be a network and a place where European students can come together and discuss different aspects. And finally, we want to support those people to have the best experience they can get out of the IIT.
Okay, how is this organization different from other organizations in IIT? Well, there's no other European organization in IIT. There are a few other cultural organizations like the Hispanic or the French organization, but we wanted to do something more general for us Europeans. We're also not about achieving technical knowledge. We want to help people integrate into the American society and help us network between each other. And it is not centered around qualifications and study like all other organizations. And it is for the people. We want to help the people and we want to make it easier for them as it is for us right now to integrate into American society. How the organization plans to recruit new members? We are already making our Instagram account and Gmail and WhatsApp. So those are 3 different fronts that we can use to get more members. We want to also send information to our home universities in Europe so they can come here and they can get to know each other a bit better. And also housing events, we could do it in the IIT or outside the IIT, where we can get together and do a bit of networking between each other. And we have a different events that we have already thought about planning and doing. That could be several of these, like cultural activities, European cultural activities. We have a lot of culture in Europe. We have a lot of moments throughout the year that we do celebrations and other things that we could also do in the IIT. Advise the prospective students in housing, in where to shop, what to shop, everything like that. And cultural events in Chicago, which when we came here, we didn't know anything that was going on, and we could help with that. And also job opportunities. That is really important because we have a lot of friends that came here last year or 2 years ago that are already working in the USA, and we can make the bridge between the old students and the new students. And other cultural events that we could do as stated below. Who could be our potential advisors?
We have talked with 2 advisors or possible advisors. One is Francisco Ruiz. He was a professor from Madrid Polytechnic University and came here, and it's an actual professor of aerospatial in that front building. And the other one is Michel Mori, that is for undergrad European students advisor.
Finally, for the budget, this is approximate as we actually don't know exactly what we're gonna be asking for, but we think about a starting budget of $300 is more or less accurate as we'll need a few steps to start the organization. Also, we'll want to do a course anniversary meal that we think it would be about $12 to $15 each. So we think more or less would be around $450. And finally, the network meeting we want to do, that will also be around $350. But these numbers are to be thought better later, at a later time. And finally, thank you for coming here.
Yeah, and for the last note, we are like every year around 100 European students coming to the IIT. Sometimes it's difficult, but every year there are 100 new students. The big number of them, we are Spanish, or more or less 80 people. And then also they came from Paris University as Hugo, from other European partnership universities. And now we are open for your questions.
Corey, I'll let you lead off.
All right. So I had a couple questions and just one concern. My first question is, you seem to have like a lot planned for this organization, a lot of high level stuff that sometimes people in master's business programs struggle to deal with. So I wanted to kind of know where you're at in terms of capacity and doing everything you're trying to do, experience levels, things like that.
I mean, to do everything that you have in mind is impossible. We have like plan or different plan things that we can do, but we are not going to do all of them. We are going to try. And the main thing of the events or the things that we want to do is to the future students, and when they came here, to get more the softest arrival possible and get all the activities around that, and to network also the European people between Europeans and with the university, and the university with the Europeans. Last day, for example, I was speaking with a professor, and he was asking me because her daughter wants to go to Europe, and which cities she was recommending, what cities she wants me to recommend to go, because he didn't know and she didn't know. So he was saying, okay, this city or the other. So we want to be like a reference for IAT and, well, to help. So there are many activities that we cannot go or make, but it's, I think,
Yeah, so I think we have the bridge between people that is coming and people that is already working here. So I think we are the perfect connection between, for example, we are just from our home university only has 2 students at IIT, which is less people. And I think when we go back home, we could give a speech from people to encourage them to come here at IIT. And at the same time, we have students, well, not students, people, European people that is working now at the US. And I think that could be a good networking, because they could give us, for example, a referral or any advice to get in the process of working.
So I had a second question. How diverse is the European community here at IIT?
Every year 100 students, I mean, and
100
100 people.
Well, I heard 100 students, but like because when I'm seeing here, and I have a little bit of concern, I'm seeing a European organization, but it's looking like a lot of the current executive board and the members, they seem to be all from the Iberian region, which is fine, right? But I'm starting to wonder, I'm a little concerned this might be an Iberian club more than it would be a European club.
No, we want to be European, but we are the biggest amount of people from Spain. Also, many times we have the language bridge that it's a little many times difficult. Also, the housing, many Iberian, as you said, we are in some area living, another ones in another. So many times we first met in class because we knew about language, and then we realized that Hugo was also in our classes. And I mean, it's diverse, and we want to be diverse. That's why we call it European, because if we wanted to be diverse, we would like call it Spanish or Iberian or with another name, but that's not the aim.
This is okay. There we go. Are each of you from the same country?
No, I mean, Hugo is from France.
Okay.
The three of us. Yeah.
What's the expected executive board composition?
We didn't define yet 100%. It's because we think that we should elect in a certain way that it's the most equal possible. But as we create, we thought that we have to start giving like some positions, and And then when it's created, open everybody who wants to join to executive and also be elected as it will have to be. Yet,
All right, well, thank you guys. That's time for questions, unless there are more, a motion to extend time. Is there a second?
Yeah.
Any opposed?
No.
Sadupta? Okay, we'll go to a quick vote here. Who would like to extend time by 5 minutes? Raise your hand. Why did you oppose it, Sadupta? All right. Anybody opposed? No. Okay, Ben. There's two. Go ahead, Rezwan.
No, go.
Go ahead, Rezwan.
Don't oppose. Oh, okay. I just wanted to ask, did you guys have a chance to survey the European population that we already have here, which may include like people from European or Eastern European descent? So you know how many people are here from European descent on campus?
No, we haven't been able to do that, but right now we are just on the people we know that are Europeans basis. We don't really are popular with the rest of IIT, but we hope to open our doors for everyone when we are actually an organization. So we hope like everyone will come to us.
Okay, so I would suggest that focusing on the people the 100 people who come in every single year, you should also start surveying the people, the European descent people here on campus, and also reach out to them. You know, like I know there's like a lot of Ukrainian, Czech, you know, from those parts. So yeah, so you might want to reach out to them through maybe departments at some point. Okay.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, so when you tell about the events, can you go back to the event slide once? Thank you. Yeah, when you say any cultural activities or like events, so do you have any plan of action for this semester or the next semester?
more or less this semester we are run out of time because more or less in 1 month I think that the courses end and we start with the finals. So this semester we are not trying to, we don't want to push like activities to do activities. But next semester we are thinking about doing some like well, a little bit of a meeting between us to create the organization and meet and say that the start of the organization. Also, there are people who are proposing us to do activities and to join activities, maybe an activity that is not list, but I can tell you, we have like 2 friends, we are playing in the soccer team and they say, okay, soccer is very European. We have the Champions League, so why not put like in a room the soccer and between many people see it. What's it? I mean, it's an activity, and we want to do it like next semester. Also, there is Eurovision Song Contest that many people watch it. They say they want to watch all around and do like a little party what's in it. So that all things we want to do next semester.
Yeah, thank you. And how diverse is your organization to other sections of people that are in the college, like maybe for Asians or Americans?
We are open. I mean, also if they have like, or before they give away from Europe, like Irish people, or if they come to join, or Asian, African, or European, we are open to them.
What we're trying to do with the organization is celebrate European culture. So we are really open for anyone to come and celebrate it with us.
And I think we also want to discuss some things going on in Europe. So everyone is welcome to come and to share their opinion.
Thank you. I'm good.
All right, thank you guys. That's closing our question time. Are we good to move on? If so, do I have a motion to move to discussion?
Second.
Perfect. All right, if you will follow Naeem over here, he'll walk you out to the pitch. Would anybody like to start our discussion tonight?
All right, so I am just a little concerned. Yeah, I think it's a fine organization in theory. I just don't think they're there yet. They are supposed to be European diversity. It is almost entirely Iberian, which is great. Come back for do an Iberian organization. That's amazing. It's just an entire. I think they're doing a little bit too much. A lot of these events that takes a lot to do. I don't think they're there yet. I think they need to spend a little bit more time getting surveys, seeing out the European diversity on campus, and going a little bit back to the drawing board.
Okay. To be honest, my gripes aren't with that. They could be planning to build the Tower of Babel and inevitably fail, but I would still support them. My gripes are primarily just with the as you heard my very obvious question, where are they all from? I wrote an article specifically for committee leaders for SGA. Anyways, I don't know why I'm referencing that. It doesn't matter. But my point is that any committee, any group like this needs to have a foundation of diversity, and we don't see that right now. So when voting no and telling them that they haven't passed, in the notes I would like it to say that come back with people from diverse groups, diverse countries, different places. And then my second problem is that there's really two places where they could go, or two directions they could take. That's the WISTEM direction, the WISTEM direction, or just the typical cultural organization. And the quality of the cultural organizations is that there is a unifying feature of them. Just because this is how we have established our continents doesn't, I'm not going to go too much into that. So there's really not a unifying culture of Europeans. And so the WISTEM direction is having a representative for every country or maybe every region that has a unifying culture. But I just don't see that they have that right now, or they could reach that with the lack of diversity they have. Yeah, that's it.
All right, thank you. We'll move over. Do we have somebody over here?
So I agree with my friend. Based on the budget as well, if you're concerned with that. So they have around like $1,100 of the budget, but I would feel that the committee which is there, so they have been lacking with the people around. Good. Okay. Yeah. So the people around, and I don't see any concrete plan for the next semester as well. So they are not confused with this semester. Like we are end to the semester, as they said. But for upcoming semester and for the spring students, I do not see any concrete plan for the students and for the people who are coming here.
Just as a point of order, you may not have seen this. Their budget, I did have them redo their budget before they could present. Because it was for last semester, and obviously we're near the end. So their budget that they have now is for next semester. So those events, just so you know, are planned for next semester. And did you want to keep going?
I feel that there is no concrete plan for them moving on for the next semester or the events they're planning for the upcoming students.
All right, I will pass it on to Alejandro then.
So I want to mention that I acknowledge the concerns that many of you guys have made. However, I'm not sure if those concerns mean we should automatically turn down the organization, because I think what's perhaps most important is whether or not it fills in a niche on campus and what are their intentions behind it. I do think they have good intentions behind it, and I think that recruitment and diversifying the organization to incorporate people of various cultures, I think that's something that'll probably come along the way if they do a good job at organization by branching out and whatnot. And it's in general for any student organization, it's hard to get a bunch of diversity right off the bat. So I'm not too surprised to not see one person from every European country right there and right here in our proposal. So yeah.
Spencer.
Hello. So I'm the liaison for the Polish Student Society. And I think that if they want to go the wisdom route, they should like talk to people that are in the exec of all the European clubs or like cultural clubs, and then they can like branch together, because I feel like this is just like combining all of those together. So, I think if they went that route, it's fine. As far as the budget goes, I think that like if we gave them the budget for next semester, like I don't know, like there's not really clear what they would spend it on, like to be honest. And I think that like as far as right now, they're not really developed as they need to be. So yeah.
I think we do need an extension for time if Jacob would like to continue.
I motion to extend time.
Any opposed? No? Okay. Go ahead, Jacob. How long, Ishan?
3 minutes.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, that was funny. Okay, yeah, contacting all of them. Well, sorry, I'm not dismissing his comment. Yeah, that's a good idea. I think does an international student organization exist? Does anybody know? Does that exist? This is like on the verge of an international student organization.
Not that I am aware of.
Does anybody know if Bridges International is an official organization?
I have not seen
my main comment about this is just if one doesn't exist, and this will is that there is a need for student support for international students on our campus, and I think that's that this people in the Polish student organization, in any student organization that represents a demographic from not America, needs to really be aggressive with the the Global Affairs Center, because I don't know if this is unanimous for all countries, but I know people from certain countries are just given zero support from the Global Affairs Center. So I think a group like this, a group like the Polish Student Organization, the I know French student passed recently, all of these organizations should be requested or passed on the stipulation that they work with the International Center. Yes, it's for culture, but it's also just to, what they said for, making sure that they have the same success probability as those that are from America. And the second comment I have is that by denying this group be on the basis of a lack of diversity, why I say that is because if we let them pass and they have this, the friend group they have now, I'm not claiming it's just a friend group, but I'm claiming that it is very undiverse. And what will happen with that is that we'll have passed an organization that will likely see just a friend group or a specific demographic, not the entire thing that they're intending to represent, perpetuate and just use money to kind of just fund friend hangouts. And we see that with a lot of organizations that are not founded on this diversity. So that's really my only comment, is that I would like them to present again with just a little bit more.
Thank you, Jacob.
I've heard it a little bit, but I just want to make sure we're very clear. We can't choose who's in an organization based on their race, ethnicity, and all of those sorts of things. So where I hear the comments about bringing diversity, I also have to understand that this could very well be a group of people who know each other. They have interests that they want to share with others, and this is one way they can do it. And I think it's just very important for you to think about it without the race and creed attached to it, because we're borderline discrimination on this conversation and it's making me uncomfortable. So I just want to lay out that guideline.
Thank you. Any other comments, concerns? We're out of time, so there shouldn't be any.
And by 3 minutes.
Maya.
Hello. Okay. I just have one concern. So I feel like this organization could just result in the merging of several cultural clubs. I mean, when you talk about the Polish Student Society or the French Society or any other European society or club that exists on campus, I feel like if those organizations did what that organization wants to do, essentially they're serving the same purpose. So I'm almost wondering, if that could result in a combination. And I'm wondering at that point, if there's a need for an organization like this to exist, or on the flip side, for the cultural organizations on their own to stand. Why not have one or the other? I think both are beneficial. However, having both, it's kind of like you're serving double the purpose. That's it. Thank you.
Any other points? All right. Do I have a motion to move to previous question? Any opposed? No. Naeem, will you go grab them? Bulu, will you release a voting form? And with that, we'll move on to executive reports. Elio, you are first.
Okay, cool. So we have some new SGA stuff coming in January, courtesy of Joseph Shimon, who's helping to create some new committee logos and a banner that we can now replace on our website and also hopefully put up as a physical banner. Excuse me, physical banner every time we table. And I'm also starting to collect event ideas for the following semester. Right now, I have two, a multi-group, sort of multicultural, multi-religious event that DEI has proposed, which I am honestly eager to work with them to get that set up, and a research gala that we are collaborating with URJ and SCRA, and I know a few other organizations are going to be collaborating with that one, with us on that one. So if you have any more event ideas, please let me know. Other than that, pretty small update.
So my main updates for this week are just some updates that I have from the Food Advisory Board meeting that we had last week. This month is Vegan Awareness Month. They are planning on doing, celebrating, well, not celebrating the fact, but reinforcing the fact that it is Vegan Awareness Month this month throughout the school. They're working on getting some more specialty and hearty foods as a regular item moving forward that the chefs are working on. I've heard that they're doing kind of a internal competition of they come up with a recipe and then they see what the student body likes of it. And then that's kind of what their motive is for that. They're working on getting boba tea implemented into Global Grounds and Kaplan officially going forward next semester. So that will be something new that we'll have the ability to have access to. And then they're also starting a program in Center Court by sourcing a variety of different goods with minority vendors, in particular to just help with a wider spectrum of goods that they can offer at Center Court for those who may be looking for something a little bit more niche, I will say. And that is all I have for this week.
Everyone, no usual emojis today. This is really kind of a hash from last week. So we just have a couple of notes. For one, I certainly need to catch up with Mark regarding just some things we need to talk about with residence life. Even though I did kind of catch up on some things from the SGA meeting, we didn't really talk much about residence life there during the exec meeting. So certainly I'll have a separate conversation with him. I've already seen him twice today, so you know. Destined, the stars will align again. The RA, just some notice, the RA info sessions and RA application are upcoming in their date for release or occurrence. For the RA info sessions, I do not have the exact dates with me. I actually left them on a poster somewhere else. However, they've already started making their ways on the telephone, on the television screens, and you can find that information go in your email going out soon. But RA info sessions, if you would like to become a resident advisor on campus, you're required to attend at least one RA info session. Starting last year in fall 2022, we actually had a bonus info session during an RHA meeting, as RHA people are the ones that are most likely to, want to become RAs or interested in residence life. So we actually have one scheduled for the 9th, in addition to the one that's already virtual that day that's slightly earlier. There's a second one I was able to convince the ORL to just do a second one for the night. But there are going to be a total of 5 RA info sessions in that case, 2 virtual, 2 in person, and then the 1 virtual for RHA specifically next week. And the RA application will be going up, I think the 16th or something like that. It'll be going out starting soon. You'll be able to start applying, and I think it will close somewhere early January. So certainly keep an eye out for that. And definitely fill that out over break if you're interested, and make sure you attend an info session. If you're still on the fence, attend an info session. Very easy just to be there and learn. You can decide whether or not you want to continue with an application from there. If you have any questions regarding that, let me know. Our slate, once again, for November, we had a great RHA October of different specialists every week. We are continuing that in November. Again, we have Andrew Yoakum with public safety tomorrow. So public safety committee people, yay, yay. So yeah, public safety tomorrow, the bonus RA info session, that's going to be the week after, next week. The week after that, we have Gary Wally from Student Health and Wellness coming to discuss mental health right before, we go into Thanksgiving and finals. And then lastly, we have the CARES director, Melody McCrae from the CARES office to talk about incident reports and what that process looks like. So we have a full slate once again this November. We're already planning some things out for the spring that are going to be more engaging and more in person, especially some work with departmental programming in the ORL. So certainly let me know if you have any interest. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Okay, so really just going to keep it quick for academic affairs. Next week, we're going to be having an event. It's going to be a lunchtime study session with ASCE. We are working on getting catering ready for that. Just look out for the room reservation. We will have a poster put up on our Instagram and other social media, as well as ASCE will be posting information about it. Come by if you have time, that lunch hour. Get some food, get some studying in, and look forward to more study events with student organizations coming up to finals week. Other than that, that's all from me, and I'll see my committee in the committee meetings.
Hey guys. So yeah, another reminder about the Marty Cooper virtual event that we're gonna be having. Okay, come join it. If you didn't RSVP right now. It's gonna be November 1st, Saturday, 7 p.m. There's gonna be a lot of food, some prizes, some surprise too. Tell your friends and RSVP today. Also, we have alumni of the school. He owns a new museum, the Wrightwood 569. Is that the 659? And then he's giving IIT students, Illinois Tech students, free group tours. So yeah, so if you want to make a group and go to the group tour, then just we're gonna post it on the Instagram page for the SGA. So go on there, make a group of at least 10 people, and then tell him. Then you can schedule a group tour for the next month of November, every Thursday and Friday. Everything's gonna be on the poster. Also, we're gonna have new name tags for you all. So exciting. So yeah, that's all we have. Derek? Oh yeah. Yeah, it's all on the there's a link on the IIT website that has like the whole rundown of the show. So who's gonna be like some of the alumni and also the speakers for the whole thing. So yeah, just go over there. I think if you like scan the QR code, it's gonna show the link on there. Yeah. It's gonna be in the auditorium, or you can join the Zoom from your own room. Yeah. 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 It's gonna be through like breakout rooms, and they're gonna be divided throughout the continent. So like Asian, North American, South American, European. So that's how they're gonna do it. So yeah, it's gonna be exciting. So if you're free this Saturday, Tell your friends, come join in. Okay, thank you.
I think, do we have any committee chair reports before we move on to senator reports? Do you have one, Jacob? Update from public safety or from the downtown campus? Oh. All right, so find Corey if you want to join his committee. Joseph. Yeah, exactly. We'll find somebody. Joseph, did you? Yeah. Did you? Oh, you meant for us to do that. Okay. Anything else, Reswan? Any other executive members? All right. And with that, we'll move on to senator reports. Any senators need to report anything today? We're good? All right. And that will bring us to open floor. You want to do committee meetings first? Open floor. Elio? Okay. Who raised their hand besides Jasher? Okay.
Try. All right. Is this on? Can you hear me? Yes. All right. I wasn't planning on speaking today, but there's people in attendance that I feel this is pertinent to, and I learned some things today that I think are also relevant to a lot of things that have been happening. So obviously there is a current crisis in Israel and Palestine, and there's a lot of rhetoric and a lot of, back and forth that goes on between students, and a lot of that is legitimately anti-Semitic or legitimately anti-Palestinian or specifically anti-Muslim, and that is legitimately bad. However, there are more instances that I'm hearing of students taking pro-Palestinian sayings and claiming it's anti-Semitic or anti-Jewish and framing people as things that they are not. And this is an ongoing issue. There are people in attendance today who have had this happen to them, and people who couldn't be in attendance today because administration said that they couldn't be here because they are anti-Semitic. And I think that it's time to look back at AEPI and see if this is a fraternity that we want on campus. It has Zionist ties.
If I can interrupt you right there, this is a statement directly from Chief Justice Rashali. The fact that this is a nationwide club with international reach does not mean that the frat on campus reflects the same views as the organization they are attached to. The frat does not raise any money on campus
Elio,
to give.
let's let the open floor play out before we start combating, because everyone should be heard, and then we can let's take it one step at a time. And remember, this is a respectful place, and we're here to listen. We're not here to condemn. We're here to listen.
Anyways, API has direct Zionist ties. There are people in other branches of the fraternity who are in the IDF who have hazed students in other fraternities, doing torturous methods used in the IDF, and actively have hurt Palestinian people in the past. And is it a fraternity that we want to harbor on campus? Additionally, the people in the fraternity are not the best, most upstanding members of our campus. The head of the fraternity has numerous allegations against him. I have personally heard him threaten violence against Nova Amerman, and there was no action taken against him, and I'm sure no action will. And so I have to ask, do we want to continue to allow this fraternity to exist on our campus and pressure and harass other students for saying things that are pro-Palestine? Additionally, these slanderous claims against some of our members are taking away from legitimate anti-Semitic sayings. There are people who are legitimately being harassed for being Jewish. There are people who have been getting death threats and being harassed for being Jewish. And by speaking out for Palestine and advocating for the people of Gaza, that doesn't make you an anti-Semite. that doesn't make you someone who is evil. And I think that by harassing those people, you are taking away real voices and real people who have been legitimately victimized by anti-Semitic rhetoric and anti-Semitic hateful acts. So again, I really just hope that the administration can go back on what they've done, and it takes away from SGA as a whole. Why are we here if anything that we do can instantly be overthrown by Dean States or by anyone in administration? Why are we here to vote if ultimately at the end of the day, they could step in and say, no, we don't agree. It's all just a clown act, and there's no point in SGA if at the end of the day, we don't have a voice. We should be allowed to exist and express our views without being silenced. And I think that the way that the direction that administration is heading and the direction that the school is heading is not one I am terribly fond of. So I really hope that administration can look back at the recent events and change their minds about what's been happening. Thank you.
Any other open floor items?
And I think we're good to leave it at that. And thank you very much for your statements. I do appreciate them, and I've heard you loud and clear. What I would also just encourage people to do is, let me get in the front of the room. Sorry. So what I would encourage anybody to do is, especially with specifics that we can investigate, please submit a report so we can follow up with these things. I have not made aware of anything specific about any of these allegations at this point. And if you think I have, I apologize, and I'm happy to meet with you at another time to talk with you about them. But I will always follow up on any reports that are sent our way. And again, this is a safe place for students to be able to express themselves. And I appreciate your words, and I appreciate everybody listening. And I just want to remind everybody that we are a respectful environment and that we do have disagreements. And just because we don't like one thing doesn't mean somebody else doesn't like the same thing you like. And so we have to talk these things through. So I'm open to those dialogues. I am not open to hateful dialogues. I'm not open to discriminatory, you know what I'm trying to say, discriminatory dialogues, but I am open to hearing people out. And so if there's more information you can share with me, especially about AEPI in particular, specific things that I can look into, I'm happy to do it. At this point, I stand on my decision from last year, but I'm always happy to revisit if it makes sense. So I invite you to do that if you feel that strongly. And I think that's.
Dean Stutz. All right, any other business for open floor today? Jacob, do you have a microphone? You will. Go ahead whenever you're ready.
There are 6 pizzas on their way. If anybody's hungry, I don't think this is a very controversial statement, but if you're hungry, that they're on their way right now. They're pizza, cheese, and pepperoni from Rico Bene's. They'll be here in approximately 13 minutes.
Okay. With that, we'll
you,
break
Jacob.
to committee meetings. Clap the pizza. All right, we'll break into committee meetings. Any senator who hasn't told me what committee they serve on, if you would do that. But other than that, we'll break to committee meetings and they'll adjourn from there. So go.
Cool. DEI and engagement, meet with me. DEI and engagement, meet with me.